Hello, welcome back to another video. I have exiled myself to the garage. The house is noisy and that's what it's like in quarantine. That's really the reason I haven't been making videos. It's just finding a time in the house when you're not being interrupted or it's noisy, kids playing piano, stuff like that, which I love. But I always feel bad trying to make a video during that because then I'm grouchy at the kids and it's not fair to them. So I have exiled myself to the garage. It's a beautiful day today. I think it's like 73 Fahrenheit. It's been a while since I made a video. I don't even know. Yeah, actually, I do know what I want to do. What I've been working on is, oh, where did that go? You know, it's been doing this. I think I do always on top. There it is. I've been working on mspec, which is let's see, mspec. Mspec is a rspec-like test runner for the Ruby spec suite. And one thing I'd like to be able to do someday is to be able to run the whole. This would be a big task, run the whole Ruby spec suite and get all the tests passing. But as it stands now, I have been pulling over individual specs. Like we have a few in Natalie. We have spec language, and we have these. Obviously, you can tell I started at the A's and I went down, but it was getting tedious because the farther down I got, the more of the spec runner library I was having to implement, and so. While I am proud of, where is it? Test, support, spec. Our spec runner is pretty cool. It does a lot of stuff. It doesn't do everything that mspec does. And mspec is pure Ruby. It's pretty simple. I mean, relative to like rspec. And theoretically, we should be able to parse and compile this and use this to then start pulling over Ruby specs. So that's what I've been working on for a few days. And it's slow going, and I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I might cut out little bits of this video, but maybe give you little glimpses into what I've been working on. So the routine is something like this, where I've got the mspec library over here in the mspec directory. So I'm just doing, I'm changing the lib path to be in the include, in the load path, and then I'm loading mspec.rb and seeing where it breaks. And I've already fixed a few of these, and I don't know how many more there are. There's no good way of having a progress meter on this. It's just fix something and then move on to the next breakage. So the one we're on now looks like, let's see, dsym. I don't even know what dsym is. Well, and this is the challenging part, is finding where this is. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That's something that we're creating. It's in args. It's in a method call, and it's in the arguments of a method call, and there's something called dsym. What is it? evstr. Evaluate string. Do we do something with evstr? I don't think we do. str. Yeah, we do actually. So, oh, we even have a dstr. What? Oh, that's a dynamic string. Oh, dynamic symbol. Ooh, that's a new one for me. So that's a clue. Is it when you do this? Let's see. How am I going to do this? 1 plus 1 inside of a symbol? Is that a DSIM? Invalid char and expression. What do you mean? Oh, what am I doing? It's not. It's a symbol and then an @ sign inside of the string. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a DSIM. So it's a dynamic symbol. So it's just like a dynamic string. Cool. Well, that's doable. Symbol test. So I don't even have like a generic symbol test. What do you call that? It can be built dynamically. So let's say foo. Somebody's honking at me. 1 + 1 should be foo2 should equal foo2. We'll run our observer here. Yeah, so same error. That's great. And we will copy dstr. Do I copy it? No, I think I want to build on top of it, because we're going to have to build a string underneath it and then turn it into a symbol. DSYM, is that what it was? DSYM expression, and then it always has a start and a rest. You know what? We don't care about that. We want the string node, stir node, process dstr expression. Let's see what that looks like, and what we're gonna raise here. Yes. So it's a block where we declare a string and we give back the string. So why don't we replace the last one? So we'll say the string is, we'll pop it off, and then we'll put it back, and then we'll return the node. Okay, so after we pop it off, what do we want to do? We want to turn it into a symbol. So it's going to be nat symbol. A literal I think this will work, because we're going to take this this string object, and we're going to grab the character array out of it and pass that into nat symbol. Oh, and then this is what's going to be added to the end. So yeah, that might work, or it might not. Oh, and I have to pass env to that. Env foo2 should be equal to foo2. Oh, I forgot the space. Well, look at that. Okay, cool. Well, that was easy, and let's commit that. Okay. So I fixed that. I had a little interruption, and the neighbor is mowing their lawn. So real quick, tell you what I'm doing now. I'm looking for this error, another something we haven't written yet, something we don't support yet, ensure. Although I thought I had done that, so maybe I haven't. Maybe I just have a to do on that. And so I'm trying to figure out where that is in mspec, and I have it printing out some stuff, and I have a sneaking suspicion that it's in guard. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that for a second. And if I mute the mic, that's because the lawnmower man next door is doing his thing. But let's see, mspec guards guard.rb. Oops. Guards guard. And it was ensure. There are some ensures here. Oh, there's only 2. Okay. So maybe we don't support ensure on a method. Look at that. Look at that. So one way to check that would be just be to do foo 1 ensure 2 end, and I'm guessing that's gonna break. Yeah. But if I put a begin here, ensure end, does that work? No. We don't support any ensures at all. Rescue 2, make this 3, I guess. Yeah, we just don't support ensure. Look at that. Pass 461. Well, it needs to be in pass 1. Is where we need to do it. I could have swore we had an ensure. No, we just don't. Cool. Well, let's print this expression and see what that looks like. Wait a second. Oh, the ensure happens outside of that. For realsies? Yeah, sure enough. Ensure wraps the begin rescue thing. Now wait a second. How do we handle? Interesting. So a begin rescue, even though it says begin here, it actually, the S expression has rescue in it, and then it's the body of the begin, and then there's a res body, and so we're handling that here. That's what this does. But as soon as I do, yeah, let's just look at the whole AST. Here's what we're processing, but we're not processing this ensure. So should be pretty straightforward. Rescue test. I have a rescue test. I'll just put it in here. Yeah, we don't have any ensure. So let's do describe ensure. It always runs, even if there is what if there's an uncaught exception? Even if there is a caught exception, and then also even if there is an uncaught exception. So we need both of those. Boop, 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 boop. So I guess that looks like this. Even if there's a caught exception, raise error. I'm going to say rescue. I don't really care what it's doing. Ensure x equals 2, x should equal 2. Is that right? Seems right. Well, it passed in Ruby and it failed here. And we're just going to go ahead and write this test while we're at it. So let's say we're rescuing no method error, which is not what this error is. You know what? We don't even need a rescue here. I don't think. No, maybe we do. Runtime error, runtime error. I guess I would need to do a begin rescue here. What? Is that right? X should equal 2. Oh. Okay, was Ruby happy with it? Ruby was happy with it. Okay, so that's the dance I have to do to prove this works. So we're not rescuing it here. But the ensure still runs. And then we're rescuing that exception up a little bit higher. And then we check that it's 2. Cool. Pass 1. So let's just do sorry, BR. Okay, I am back. I kind of forgot what I was working on. Process rescue. How is ensure actually going to work? Sorry, I'm just scrolling and thinking. I don't know. How does ensure actually work? Is it a rescue and then a re-raise? I just realized I don't know how ensure in Ruby actually works. Well, let's think it through. So we have the scenario of something was raised, or let's just say there is an error. Well, I guess, do we even need it? I mean, these are the two scenarios I can think of. Always runs even if there's a caught exception. Always runs even if there's an uncaught exception. So like this one is essentially a raise. So it's like that. So this is actually, or not a raise, a rescue. This is actually a rescue, and then re-raise is what that is what that's doing. But this one it's just it's as if this line is right here and this is gone. So I wonder if it just copies the code twice. Could we just copy the code twice? Meaning, well, let's do this one first. Let's do this one. So let's skip this test and let's just try to get this one working. So this one, we're going to wrap the whole thing in a rescue. Yeah. Yep. I wonder if I can do new. What if I process this through again, but I'm just rewriting the code, rewriting the AST. What did the What did that look like with the rescue? I don't like that. I want that AST thing I had. Where is it? Where is it? Where'd you go? Okay, fine. I'll just write it again. What if we pass this something like this? What if we pass that to process so that it rewrites it for us and we can be lazy? So it's just a blank rescue. And I've already forgotten what our ensure looks like. It has like a block of code and then this. Wait, what? What if I'm going to assume it's always the second item is what the body of the ensure. So we're going to say blank, and this is what do you call that? It's like body and then ensure body. I don't really love those names. So this is a rescue that we pass the body here, and then the res body is we're going to just rescue everything, and then this is the ensure body, and then, well, what happens if I put another thing here? Oh, it's a block. Perfect. It's already a block. I like it. And then we're going to raise again. That makes me wonder if you call raise, does it re-raise the error? Don't know. We're just gonna run this through and see what breaks. Oh man, things are going slow. Raise not rewritten. Oh, it's I guess it's a call. What happens when I do Ben Natalie E begin 1 rescue E 2 end, and I debug that? What do I get out? I get out a env exception. Can I put this here? That's the question. I don't know why these tests are running so slow. I don't know if it's because I'm running video, if I'm recording. Definitely running kind of slow. Too few arguments to nat raise. Natalie C. Nat raise. What does that even look like? Nat raise. Oh, right. So I want to do nat raise exception is the one I was looking for. Exception. Look how slow that's going. Oh, I know why. It's actually running all tests. What I want is raise test. Nope. Rescue test. Let's just run rescue test. Oh, it worked. Okay. This one worked, but this one will not work. And because it got rescued here, so there's nothing to rescue. So, well, let's indent this, make this look a little bit nicer. Res body array, ensure body. And then we're going to raise the exception again. What if we made this a block? And then we put lots of kids out playing today. It's nice to hear the sounds. Can I really just copy this again? Is that cheating? Does that work? Oh, it works. This feels a little bit like cheating. What does that actual generated code look like? I know what that's going to look like, but what if I do ensure 3? Oops. Ensure 3. So it looks like no, that's not it. There's my 2. Am I lost? Where's my 3? My nat integer 3. Right? Isn't that what I wrote? Yeah. Oh, it's right here. Now what's fascinating is that that's not actually being set to anything. Oh, right, it's not. Yeah, I'm smart. I'm so smart. So this is the code. What if I do 3, 4? Does that work? So yeah, it does 3 and 4. But this should also exist somewhere else. That's the rescued version. There should be another one. Oh, here it is. Oh, so this is neighbor kid is screaming, "I'm not eating dinner yet." Kids are great. I really like this setup. I'm digging this. I'm sure this is the most annoying video that you have seen on YouTube, and maybe I'll get my first thumb down on this video. But I'm digging the outside air and the outside sounds and kids playing, even though I'm code monkeying. It's nice to hear the kids playing outside. Not my kids, of course, they're inside playing Minecraft, but that's another story. Okay, so this is doing exactly what I thought. It's copying this same code in 2 places, and I think I'm okay with that until I find some reason that I shouldn't be. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I should put it in a function, but I think that would just make my life harder. So I'm going to say that that is finished, and we can commit that to process ensure. So let's do add ensure, and cool. So let's just see if we get farther, if we get past that error with mspec. Well, that's new. Oh, you know what that means? That means we're getting past past 4, I think. No. What does that mean? Huh. I'm not sure what that's all about. That's a new one. output. Okay, well, I guess we'll go look at this. Sorry, I'm just puzzled by this error. So we'll go look at that. Okay, output to FD line 30. Output to FD line 30. File delete path if path. Oh, we didn't get much farther than the ensure, did we? So if you define something here, you expect to be able to access it here. Yeah, of course you do. So if I set something here, I expect, yeah, that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So what are we getting at pass 4? We're not getting past 4. What are we getting at pass 2? Not getting anything. What are we getting past 1? Here's my rescue. Navvar set env. Right. So you get a block environment. Inside of a begin, you get a block environment, I think. And actually, is that true? Is that true? Do you get a block environment? If not, net rescue. So here's my begin function. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to lift the variable. Oh, this is going to be more complicated. I'm gonna have to lift the variable out of the begin in order for ensure to be able to see it. Well, I think the error might actually be not, I think it's may be indicative of another problem. Can you even do this? No, you can't. So it has nothing to do with ensure. This is a bug with the way I do begin. And just to make sure I am not losing my mind, if I run this through Ruby, yeah. So we're gonna have to work on process rescue. This bad boy creates a function and interesting. Well, come on. Okay. If I run this, I can't even run that. Fine. If I run this, this is the code I get. This is my begin function. Nat call begin. What does nat call begin do? Come on. Nat call begin. It builds a block environment. Should it though? Should it build a block environment? What if it just didn't? What if it, oops. What if it just passed the environment? And then this whole thing would go away, right? Well, that won't break, will it? We print x, undefined local variable x. But that's the compiler pass 2 complaining. It thinks that it's not defined, even though it will be defined. Pass 2 begin. See, it's processing a begin function as a block function, where it's really not. There goes an RC car. Nope, that's a scooter. What would this do? Is block. What does is block do? Oh, that affects the environment, yada yada. It's not really a block. Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. What if we take this out? Because it's not a block function. We say if the sex type is, what was it? Begin fn. Begin fn. Then just do nothing. No new environment, please. Yeah, I think a please is appropriate here. Else, we're gonna clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna have a little bit more duplication, just to make me feel better. When it's a block function, then you're going to do that, and then everything else you're going to say block false, false. And I assume this goes here. Result. Now, actually just duplicate this. And this one is a block, so true. Do I like this duplication? I kind of do. I think it's easier to read, even though it's doing the same thing. No, I don't like it. I'm putting it back. Change my mind. You know, that's my prerogative to change my mind. I can do it. Is block sex type is block, and we return that. Now what? I think we just return the expression. I'm just gonna do nothing. What does that do? Undefined local variable x. Well, bite me. Just bite me. We are getting here, and we are seeing begin function. Yes? Begin function. See, I don't want you to create a new environment. Oh, but I still want you to process and build vars. Okay. Result. And I think I still want this. I just don't want you to pass, I don't want you to create a new environment. Undefined local variable is a block. Yeah, because it's not a block. False. What does that do? Print x is nil? X is nil. No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, that's not going to do anything. What if we raise here? I cannot type. Raise here. So even though it's getting in here, okay. What's happening? Okay, let me simplify this code back to what it was. Print the x. Don't care about that. Okay, it's not supposed to be nil. What should it be? did run make, yes? Okay. Ran make. This is my begin. What was my number that I'm looking for? Or it's not a number, it's a P. I'm trying to print this thing. That's this. X2. Why do you think that this is not a variable? Oh, because this has no notion of, like, it assumes that if they're in the same environment, which is a Ruby stack frame essentially, then we can use local variables on the C stack, and we can't. We can't. So I'm gonna think about this, and I'll be back hopefully with. Okay, I have an idea. In pass one, I was really wondering, why do we do this? Why do we create a function to hold a begin, which then requires me to pass a new environment and then worry about captured variables and everything, when really a begin is not a new scope. As far as I can tell, a begin is the same scope. It's not a block, it's not a function, it's nothing. Even let me just verify this. If I do while goodness, I is 10, while I is greater than 0, x equals 100, I minus minus, and what? We can't do that? Why not? Oh, because you can't have a decrement like that. Okay. I minus equal 1. X equals 100, and is x a thing? Oh, it is. A while does the same thing? Ooh, mind blown. I don't think that works in Natalie either. Where am I? I don't think that works. While I is greater than 0, I is minus 1, x is 100, and print x. Oh, I. Let's start with I is 10. Oh no, that actually works. Interesting. So how did I do while loops? I just made a C while loop, right? I didn't make a separate function. That's what I want to do here. And this is one of the nastiest parts of the compiler. But maybe it will get easier. And why is rescue a function? See, I don't think we want either of these. I think I just want this to be a block. I want this to be a nat rescue, rescue block, nat call begin. No, I don't want any of that. I want this to just run. There's no way that actually works, but I kind of don't even know where to go next. So I'm just going to run it and see what happens. No, don't run everything. Rescue test. Just run rescue test. There's near compiling. Yeah, I've kind of figured. And I've got to clean up this noise. So many statement with no effect. Yeah. Error expected to see. Well, what is this? What is this? What is happening here? Are we assigning a value or something? Oh, I know why. I thought we did ensure already, because I remember doing else, but else and ensure are different. Okay, fair enough. Rescue block, else. That's the rescue block. What is rescue function doing? Nothing. There's not even a rescue function. I think that was abandoned a while ago. Res body. Well, I'm gonna have to go look and see what I already had one. Let me just copy that. Begin rescue to and debug that baby. What does this look like? We create a number and we do a return. Oh, we don't want a return. Where's the return coming in at? Where's the return coming from? Begin function, that's definitely gone. Rescue block. Interesting. Oh, and I don't need this to be wrapped in a block. I can just do this. Things are getting simpler. Of course, nothing compiles yet, because I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. I mean, obviously this is the problem. It's not getting to here because we have a return, but I don't understand where that return is coming from. I just need to stare at this some more. Oops. I need to stare. So body, what happens to the body? This should be the main chunk of code. No. Body empty. Body. Block body map process in. What do we look like coming out of pass 1? Yeah, there's clearly no way that that is causing a return. So it must be in pass 4. Return result. Is that what this is? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with the result. Don't know what to do with the result. If we're not going to return it, then we need to set it to something. So we'll say result equals temp. Rescue result is what we'll call it. And we'll say nat object result equals nat nil. And then we'll do results result equals result. No way. Result. I'll say final result. Final result. Ugh. This is getting gross. I don't even know if this is going to work though, so I'm going to keep going. Final result. Let's result empty. blah, 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 blah. Result equals that. We'll say final result equals results. And then we return the final result. And you know, one thing I've noticed is this like the third or fourth time this has happened where I was returning an empty string for a result of pass 4, and I'm not going to get into why. I'm not going to get into how this works, but I've noticed that these empty strings are anti-patterns, and anytime I see them, it usually means I didn't do something right. Just yet another case where I did something wrong. Final result is not a thing. Well, let's just make it a thing. And rescue result 2 set but not used. Oh, right, that's a warning. It's working. This is great. This is great. I don't think we need this declaration context. I don't really remember why that's a thing. It's used in ifs. Yeah, maybe we do need it. It's used in these sorts of scenarios, and it's something about polluting the... It's like a scope, and I think it's just... It's not really a scope, though, is it? Yeah, I'm going to leave it, because I wrote that so long ago, I don't remember what it does, and I'm not in the mood to really dig into it right now. So that's one of the most humbling things in programming, probably, is finding this stuff that you wrote a month or two ago. Hell, if it was a year, goodness. But yeah, a month or two ago, and not really understanding why it's necessary. I know there's a reason for this, especially since I'm seeing it in ifs and while loops, so there's got to be a reason, so I'm gonna leave that. Anyway, does that fix, let's get rid of the D. That fixes that. Did I have a failing test for this? Let's say raise. Okay, I don't care about raise. Begin rescue. It uses the same scope is what I'm trying to get at here. Begin x equals 1. Rescue, don't care about that. X should equal 1. And as long as that passes, I am pretty happy with that. It doesn't pass, of course. Always runs even if there is an uncaught exception. Error. So I broke ensure when I did that. Okay, well, while it's on my mind, I'm going to go get rid of this because I'm pretty sure this is not a thing anymore. So we're just going to get rid of that. Ensure. What does ensure do? Yeah, how would that have broken? I think I just, yeah, okay. Sure, ensure body. Well, let's go look at the debug output for that. So, ensure. X equals 1, rescue E2, ensure 3. So I expect to see this here. Which test was failing? Rescue test. I've already forgotten. I've already forgotten which one was failing. It was even if there's an uncaught exception. There's an uncaught exception. Raise error. Okay, so if I go here and I go, I'll just do raise here. Rescue. Don't care about the error. 2 ensure 3 debug. Wait. What? That one worked. What? How come my test isn't working? What's the difference? Something about having a well, what is it? Having a begin around it? Okay, I have a begin around my begin. And a rescue. Oh no, I'm rescuing this. No method error. Uh-oh. Neighbor kid's crying. Don't push me. Okay, raise here, rescue, no method error 2, sure P3, blah 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 blah. Insertion EMV failed. Oh, insertion EMV failed. Raise here, rescue, no method error 2, ensure P3 int. Whoa. Rescue result is now. Okay. So here's. Okay, that's the top level, like built-in one. Okay. A rescue result equals nat now. If not, nat rescue. Oh. I know. I had begins creating their own functions. Because of this right here, because we store the jump buff on the environment. And so when you have them nested like this, they have to have their own environment. Fudge, 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 fudge. I'm gonna go for a little walk. Be right. Okay, back in business. It's good to get away and think things through. I think I came up with a solution that works pretty well. Tests are passing. Rescue test is passing. And what I came up with was hoist. This concept of hoisting. So stolen shamelessly from JavaScript. Where do I define this? So I do should hoist. If it's a begin block, then I left all the other code. I put everything back the way it was before. We're still creating a new environment for every begin because we have to do that for rescues to work, for the jump buff to be there when we need it. But if it's a begin block, then we set should hoist to true, and we pass that into the environment, and we say every variable defined in this environment is hoisted. And what we do with that then is down here when a variable is declared, if it's hoisted, then we set it on the parent environment and return the right stuff. Otherwise, we do the old thing. So all in all, the lines of code here changed is pretty minimal. Yeah, so pretty minimal, not too bad, and I think it's easier to read than I feared it would be. So what I'd like to do is this ensure. I want to make sure that it has access to the right variables also. It can see variables declared, defined, I don't know. What is the right word? Defined in the begin section. So begin x equals 1, might as well. Rescue ensure x should equal 1. Yeah. Undefined local variable x. So I still have this problem. I have this problem here. Ensure this should work in Ruby, right? That prints. What? Oh, no end. Just ensure. Okay, that prints 1 in Ruby. Undefined local variable x. Well, what code did you generate? Oh, you're not generating code. Okay, what is our pass1 generating? Px. So that's, here's our ensure block. I believe, yeah. This is the one copy of it. This is the one that re-raises, and then the other one is, I'm really struggling to see. Oh, it's way down here. So why doesn't that work? So let me look at the AST that's generated here. So this rescue should be setting variables in the environment it's already in. So why would that work? I'm not putting ensure stuff in a separate function. Okay. I'm gonna have to puzzle this out, and hopefully I'll. Okay, figured it out, and I'll just put this back like it was. I made a logic error here. Let's see, what was it? Was here. Okay, this is what I had for hoisting. What I didn't consider was that the parent could also be hoisted. So we need to keep looking up until we find an environment that's not hoisted. So in that case, I turned this into essentially a do while loop, but Ruby doesn't really have do while loops. Not really. It kind of has hacks, but this is a nicer way to do it. So we look up the parent and we set the environment name appropriately, and then if it's hoisted, then oh wait, I think I should do break first. Yeah. Well, then why don't I just make this a while loop? While env hoist. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't need a do while, I just need a while. While env hoist, then go up the parent again and tack another stabby outer thing here, arrow outer. Okay, so that fixes this, and then rescue, come on, rescue test. Does that fix this test? Yes, it does. And just for completeness, let's make sure that this works and this works. Yes, okay, they all have access to the same variables. And then can see variables defined, and then I have one up here where it's outside of the rescue entirely. Sweet. So let's commit that. What did I commit last? Add ensure. Okay. that code wasn't even used, so I'm getting rid of that. Hoisting. Fix variable scope in begin, rescue. Did I try else? I'm gonna try else and ensure. Let's go try else, because I haven't. Do I have an else here? Let's do describe. I'll just put it here. Well, yeah, we'll just do this. Just do this. Begin x equals 2. That reminds me, I should make these numbers different to make sure the test is actually doing what you would expect. Okay, so here it's 2. Rescue else x should equal 2. Does that work? Okay, that does work. Okay, so we'll add that to our test. Cool. And back to our mspec thing. We'll see what else breaks. And this is slow, compiling mspec. Definitely something I'm going to need to look into. Do some profiling and figure out what is what's not working. Oh, I know what this is. Keyword arguments. I did not think about that at all. Of course, mspec is going to use keyword arguments. I was supposed to have a file and a line number here, but this hasn't been working lately, and I don't know why. The hack that I have for that is pass for right here. I can print the XP file and line, and that'll get me pretty close, usually. Okay. Helpers IO line 83. Helpers, no, not this. Helpers IO 83. Yeah. I say we just patch it. If mode's a hash. I'm gonna comment that out and see if it'll run. There are probably other places though they're doing that. Probably other places. Ooh, this is a fun, easy one, hopefully. Op assign and. So pass 1, we have op assign or, but we don't have op assign and. That's not something I ever use. I assume it's like this, x and so it'd be and equal 1 px. Oh, that's different. Op assign and. There's 2 bugs there. We'll focus on this one. Op assign and. Curious if I could make this more generic and reuse it. The only difference is this truth, this Boolean condition here would have a not, or just reverse yeah, reverse the condition. It's probably easier just to reverse the branches. How do I want to handle this? Man, I'm tempted to just copy it and duplicate it, but then I have to remember I think this condition is basically the same. Well, not exactly. Op assign. Op assign bool. How about we do this? Def process op assign or, and then we'll make this one and we'll say that the condition I kind of want this to be like a lambda. I think that'd be fun. It'd be easier to read. Condition. Yeah, let's do that. And we'll say process op assign bool x and condition looks like this, and result name, we're going to say snat truthy result name. And then for and, we're going to do I have a not? I do have a not, but what does it do? I think that might work. And then here it's going to be condition and call it with that. Condition call. Condition call. And same here. Condition call. I didn't write a test for this. Of course I didn't. Well, good news is that seems to have worked. Let's get rid of this. Actually, just comment that out. Okay, did that fix this little bug? Yeah, it did. Okay, assign test. I have these here. Can optionally assign a variable. It can optionally override a variable. I don't know. Let's do with this and with this. There you go. Makes it a little clearer what I mean. A and n equal 1, A should equal nil. Right? Yes. B equals 1, B and n equals 2, B should equal 2. My garage door is making noises. Okay. Well, nothing like writing a test after you've already written the code. Where was the code? It was here. What's some way that I can test that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing? Perfect. I'm gonna say that is good enough. Cool. Nope. Yep. fix and an equal. Not really fix, it wasn't broken. Let's see, add. Okay, so that's just that. Very good. Mspec, and let's see what else is broken. My computer is heating up. Deregx. Deregx. Dynamic regex? Ooh, this is fun. Well, we did that earlier. We did a dsym. Regex test. So describe. It can be created with syntax. It can be created dynamic. Don't know why I can't spell that. Dynamically. Why does that look weird? Regex equals foo. We'll just do the same thing we did earlier, but in regex form. And r.inspect should equal foo2. Yeah, I think so. Observer. What am I doing? Aha, deregx. Well, should be easy to fix because it's going to be this, and move this up here. Deregx. That's so cute. Regx. So the sterno nat regex. Nat regex. What is the signature for that? Yeah, it's just a character string pattern. We're gonna pull the string out, pull that. Well, look at that. Man, it didn't work. Of course it didn't work. Nat regex? Oh, it's nat regexp. Because that's what Ruby calls it. Yay. Okay, let's commit that. Dynamic regex. Add. What did I say on the last commit? Add support for dynamic symbol. Add support for dynamic regex. And back to running mspec. Oh, this is riveting YouTube content. I can't believe you're watching this. Much better things to be watching. S value, not really S1. I have to put my, oops, whoa, what is happening? I have to put my little thing back to figure out where that is. S value. What is an S value? Splat. Mach 132. Mach 132. Oh. I've not done that yet, I guess. So what does that do? Because this is args is an array. What happens when you splat an array on the right side of an equal? So I have 1, 2, 3. What? Where'd you go? There you go. Okay, that was weird. 1, 2, 3. A. Okay. And I have B equals star A. What's the point in having a star there? I don't know what that does. C equals, what if it's empty? Does it do something different? No. It's literally the same. 2, 3. Weird. I don't get I don't get why you would do that. Okay, but even besides that, why is that syntactically parsed? Why isn't the parser just turning that into something normal? Well, if I have a equals star that, what does the AST look like? S value, splat, array, S value. That is some weird stuff. I think I'm gonna cheat. Array test. Describe. Man, I don't even know where to put this. Oh, I never got back to working on this. Oh well. 2s. I'm gonna put it up here, I guess. Describe. It can be assigned from a splat. I mean, why though? A equals star 1, 2, 3. A should equal 1, 2, 3. Server. There you are, S value splat. I mean, unless I learn differently, I'm going to do just what I think is obvious, which is essentially to lop this off and lop that off, because it's just the array. I don't understand. I feel like I'm missing something. STUV, that's how you say the alphabet. Process S value XP. Don't care about that thing, don't care about that thing. Value equals XP. I'm gonna return the value. I don't know. Not rewritten. Alright, so process that. Just process it. Process it. I'm gonna add a note there. Not sure why this is even a thing. That's not helpful. I don't know why the parser gives us an S value here. Is it possible to get S value plus splat? Is it possible to get another type of S value? That's the question. That is the question. So we'll say type raise unknown S value type dot spect unless type equals splat. Does that still run? No, not all the tests. Ooh, that was failed. Oh, I know why that's failed. Pass 4. Array test, run that please. Okay. Yes, no, yes. Handle s value plus splat. Honestly, don't know why that is even. Why that isn't just handled by the parser. But I'm sure I'll find out. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, but this video is kind of getting long, so I might skip around a little bit. And yeah. So it's the next day. Here we are, still trying to get mspec to compile, and running into dxstr, whatever in the world that is. Ruby exerb. Okay. And what line? 132? Platform is not Opal. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do any backtick stuff, so I'm just going to comment that out for now because we don't have any support for that. And let's run this again. What is that going to do when it hits that? It's not, Well, I wonder if I should raise to do here. What is happening? This might be farther than we've gotten before, like another stage, because pass 4 it looks like it's finished. What is happening? This is definitely the largest Ruby project I've ever tried to compile with Natalie, and it's struggling. My computer's heating up. Wow, I don't know what it's doing. I should probably put some logging somewhere so that I can see what's happening. Yeah, this is ridiculous. What's htop say? Well, ffmpeg because I'm recording the screen, but I mean, it's using 100% of the CPU doing something. It's either stuck in a loop or, I mean, I don't see GCC here, so that's kind of what I'd expect. If it's doing something, I would expect to see GCC compiling C files. But, well, I'll let that run for a minute, and then I'll go to the compiler, and let's see what we could do for logging. Are we getting to here? Write file puts 2C is finished. Let's do wrote file. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're at the top of write file. Maybe it's re-indenting No, probably not. Puts 2C running. Puts AST. I see. Because I have transform. Let's see if we can see that. 2C is running. Expanding macros. Macros expanded, okay. Okay, let's go down the rabbit hole. Transform. Let's pass 1 complete. Pass 2 complete. Pass 3. Pass 4. And we'll just say result here and pass 5. We don't actually have to run pass 5. Pass 5 is just a variable elimination, and it doesn't even work very well, as you've seen from a bunch of warnings that get printed out. We're not actually eliminating unused variables very well. So I could take out pass 5 if it's stuck in that, which I have a feeling it probably is, because it's a lot of crunching and regex. Yeah, let's take out pass 5 because I think everything should just work without pass 5. Just work, you know what I mean. Actually, nothing's going to work. I'm pretty sure something's going to blow up. But maybe we'll be surprised. Root file. Or was that here? And that was, oh, that was the last of my logging. What calls write file? Okay, so the next thing would just be running the compiler command, and so I should be able to see that in htop. Ah, looky here, GCC is doing its thing. Pretty cool. I wonder how I'm going to have to work on pass 5 to make it not so slow. It's kind of crappy anyway. Like I said, it doesn't really remove variables very well, unused variables. Maybe it's time to just start over and rethink it. Because it was certainly being slow. Because it just does a loop, and every time through the loop it will gsub out any unused variables, and then try again. Ooh. My fans are slowing down. Oh, look at all the warnings. There was an error compiling. Oh, but I can't see it for all the warnings. Here's one. Block undeclared. First use in this function. Did you mean clock? No. No, I didn't mean that. So here's the file. Did it get deleted? I hope not. Goodness gracious, look at that. 145,000 lines of code. Oh. Is Vim gonna choke on this? You know, I'll use less. Oh, it's not there. Okay, I think I was supposed to have done, I think debug will not delete the file. Okay, we'll do it that way. Oh, man. This process has really made me respect Ruby a lot. The fact that Ruby can load up the mspec code in, you know, in milliseconds, and here I am just parsing it and compiling it to see, and it's taking this long. Yeah, so gives me a lot of respect for Ruby. They've gotten a lot of optimizations in there, obviously. It's not all despair, of course. Natalie has no optimization, just a lot of brute force brain power so far. So we'll see what we can do with that later. Okay. So looking for error. Void value not ignored as it ought to be. Well, that's a new one. Oh, pass 5 got rid of those. So, but I think that, oh, that's not supposed to be like that. Okay, nat define singleton method. Do we have that in pass 1? We do. Okay, so in pass 4, it's supposed to be, oh, look at here. It's supposed to be in this list of void functions so that it doesn't try to save the result of it. Pass 5 was catching that and eliminating that variable, but we took out pass 5. So okay, so we found that bug. That's cool. I know there's more, but let's get a clean list. Man, this feedback loop is pretty slow. The Natalie part, actually, what did that take? Like 10-ish seconds for Natalie to do its thing? And I'm not counting here, but I felt like somewhere between 30 and 45 seconds for GCC to do its thing. Yeah, I mean, GCC is going to be the bulk of the work. It's doing the hard work. And the cool thing about a suite like mspec is you could precompile it and have an object file sitting around ready to use. So that would be cool. Oh my, error. Here's the one I saw earlier. Block undefined. Okay, so I want to edit this. And I'll do it, I'm done with you. I'll do it here. Less. And then what was the line number? How do you go to a line number? Is that it? That might be it. It doesn't seem right though. I think that just goes down that many lines. How do you... curious. I don't know how to do that in less. I know how to do it in Vim, but this is going to be slow. Actually, do I know how to do it in Vim? I think you just do it with colon. Yeah, there it is. Block. Begin function. Oh, nat run block from env. So we have never run a block from inside of a begin. Fascinating. So I guess what that means is we have to pass the block do we have to pass the block into the begin function? I feel like I did something recent with blocks that was similar to this. Use nearest block when yielding. So this is something I did. Here's some changes. I'm just gonna have to look through this commit because I know I did something here. Something with the block. Oh no, that's annoying. So that means it wasn't actually in that commit. That was just me bragging about it. Here it is. Okay, so it's this commit. Store the block on the environment when calling yet something. My camera's over the top of it, but close enough. Nat run block from env. Yeah, so I remember doing that. Well, now I guess I'm confusing myself because I thought that's what this was doing. Nat run block from env. It is. I cannot get it to go. Okay, nat run block. What? Oh, nat run. Here's the actual. What? Okay, get out of my way. Never block from env. Am I losing my mind? It's possible. So pass 1 does that. Pass 4. Oh, no. Where'd you go? Can you not scroll right? What I don't understand is how I made that work. Here's the macro. Why do we pass a block into this if that's not the one we're running? Oh, fascinating. Okay, because that is a block being. That is not the block where we're actually calling. That is the block from our current scope. Does that even make sense? Curious. Nat run block. So this is okay. That's the call of it, and then it actually writes the C here. And pass block. I mean, when is that ever used? Oh, it's used. Look at all those errors. Oh, wait. I know why they're errors. Because in my compiler, I have all these puts that I'm going to have to put back. Put pass 5 back in there too. Just have to be more patient. I think that's right. What? That run block from UV doesn't like that. Expected identifier. What? Okay, hold on. Does this run? No, it doesn't run, of course not. How far up do I have to go? Okay. Expected an identifier before the opening parens? Nat run block from env has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 arguments. I'm not using block except to pass it to this. The only thing I changed was that. I'm just passing null. What are you complaining about? I don't get that error at all. In definition of macro, expected an identifier before the parens. Wild. There's clearly something I don't understand about this macro expansion. So I understand surely that name isn't colliding somehow. Maybe it is. It was. I don't know. Macros confuse me. It's weird. It worked before when I was passing in something. But as soon as I passed in null, then it just went berserk. If all these tests pass, I don't think I needed to pass that block in there. I'm thinking about removing that argument from the macro, because you're already calling the block, and as far as I know, you can't pass a block to a block. Man, that's taking forever. What are you doing? Woo! That was brutal. Okay, so this argument is not used, and I'm going to pass null here. And then I'm going to search for all these. Yep. And we're going to take off the null. Now we just have 4 arguments, and this one doesn't need that. Okay, so all the tests are passing with that. Let's go ahead and commit that. Nat fix. Let's just say nat defines singleton method is a void function. And then commit this and this. Don't bother passing block when calling a block, because that's just weird. Okay, so back to mspec. Let's see. Oh, I got disable pass 5. Because I'm not interested in waiting on it just yet. So say if, wait, didn't I have, I thought I had a way to do this. I can debug the passes. Maybe I just thought about doing it at one point. Oh yeah, disable variable elimination. Yeah, I'll just do that. So it's this, but we want to do disable variable elimination true. We'll run mspec and see if we get more errors that we can fix. Go baby, go baby, go, 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 go. GCC. I've noticed Clang is faster. I should probably run it through Clang. So let's see what our errors are. That's just unused variable. Void value not ignored as it ought to be. Ooh, did we find another one? Nat array push splat is another one. That's in pass 4. Cool. And let's see. See if there's any more. Nat array push splat. Nat array push splat. Nat hash put is also another one. Might as well do that. Nat hash put. Not ignored. Nat hash put. Nat hash put. Do. Several of those. Nat array push splat. That might be the only two. nat hash put. Okay, so let's just go look at Natalie. Let's see. Nat hash delete. Does it? No, it returns. Okay. What are some other functions that are void? Define method with block. I might as well just put all those in there. You know, one way to do that is grep void nat source natalie.c. Is it dumb to do this? Well, that's a static one. We definitely don't care about that. Yeah, I don't think this is dumb. This seems like a good way to do it. Let's just do this. Substitute everything after a parenthesis. And let's sort this. And indent. Okay, so is there any reason that any of these would not be in here? Nat class include. Nat class include? Nat class prepend? Oh, cool. It doesn't have any macros because I didn't do the header, so we'll put those at the top. Nat alias. Is that all of them? That's pretty cool. I'm digging it. I think that's a little more accurate. And you know what? Even smarter, I could like dynamically build this. Not gonna do it. Now, I would switch to Clang because it's faster, but I'm somewhat fearful of finding new bugs, and I feel like we're so close to getting this working. And what's it gonna do when it actually does compile? That probably is something I should find out. So if I go to mspec and I do ruby ilib. Wait, what did I do over here? Mspec lib. Yeah, so if I essentially do that, but with Ruby, what does that do? Like, oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. It's just, okay, it's just lib and then libmspec.rb. Yeah, it does nothing. So is that the best I can expect for it to do nothing? So I need to make a file that loads it up. Uninitialized constant load error. Okay, well, where do you have a load error? We can't do require inside of a begin like that, at least not yet. So I'm just gonna, do this. Pretty inspect is just an inspect. And then here's another one. Size of okay, let's see what that does. And while that's going, we'll do this. Mspec test.rb require mspec lib mspec.rb. And let's just describe mspec. It works. 1 should equal 1 and int. Oh, I just realized. Let's do mspec test.net for funsies. For funsies. I'm out of drink, so this should start working soon. So the good news is we have valid compiled C code. We are now in the runtime error portion of the game. Very cool. Well, let's just work on this one. I don't know how far I'm going to get today on this. But yeah. Okay, undefined method const defined for class. Be close RB line 2. Okay, let's just look at be close line 2. Object const defined tolerance. So where is const defined? It's a question mark, yeah. I guess the owner is module. Wait, what? Basic object isn't a module. Oh, because modules and classes can have constants. Interesting. It's always a module. Okay. Let's work on that. Const defined. Built in. Okay. This is probably easy enough, I think. Nat const get or null. I think we're gonna call this. And what is nat? Okay, so what is const? It just returns true, false. Okay, const object const defined load error true, load errors false. Okay. And it takes a string or a symbol, but not a, say, a number. Okay, so it's kind of looking for a string. It'll accept a symbol. Is there somewhere else I can just steal the code for that? Yeah. Yep. Fascinating. Fascinating. Also expect one argument, and I'm going to say nat object name is arg0. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that all about? Okay, 0. Okay, so if it's a string, we're good. If it's a symbol, then create a string. Otherwise, we get a type error that looks like this. No implicit conversion. Something is weird. No implicit conversion of to string. And this is name object class. Okay, fair enough. So we're going to raise an error, and then we're going to return let's say if it returns. So we're going to pass in the environment. The parent is self. The name is name obj string. Strict is false, and we definitely don't want to, we're not defining anything, so that's false. Return nat true, else return nat false. So if you can find it, return true, return false. Okay, so we need a test. Find test, we'll just put it in here because it's essentially the same to me. I guess it's not really the same. Describe. No, it's actually quite different. It's a runtime thing. It's not a what kind of tests do we have here? Save as const defined test. I'm gonna say num class const defined. It returns. I'm just gonna cheat. It works. Object const defined num should equal true. Oh. Right, it's a string, right? So Ruby passed class. Oh, I did dash. Where was I? As in module? I'm not sure why. Oh, it just didn't compile. Ha! Yay! Okay, and what's something else? Foo is true. Bar is false. Okay, cool. Let's commit that. Oh, we'll commit this first. Nope. Okay. So update list of void functions. Nope. Yep. Okay, we're gonna commit add object const defined. It's not really on object, it's actually on module, but people always use it on object. It's okay. Oh, I didn't actually add test. Natalie const define test. Amend that. Okay. Cool. Mspec here, but I'm gonna load mspec test.net. Oh, that didn't work. Parser on value. What? Mspec test. What did I? Oh, I did put a do. Weird. It's like I forgot how to write Ruby for a second. Cannot load such file. Insec lib mspec. What do you mean? Well, why not? Maybe because I'm setting the load path. Maybe I should just do mspec because that's the load path. Yes. Maybe variable elimination isn't, maybe we just let GCC do it. It's going to be better and faster at it than anything I can do with regular expressions. Back in the early days, I thought, oh, that's really cool. I can indent the C code and remove any variables that aren't used, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, that was just because I was looking at the C code all the time. Nobody's going to really be looking at the C code except me. And it just slows down the whole compilation process. So maybe I just get rid of pass 5 entirely and I let GCC do variable elimination. I disable warnings about unused variables because there's going to be a ton. Alias method, undefined method, alias method for class. Forgot how that works. Ruby alias method. I think it just calls alias. And it takes 2 args. Show me the source. So it takes the old one first, and no, it takes the new name, then the old name. Makes new name a copy of the old name. I like I like how they use new name here, but it's like P1 and P2. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so new name, then old name. And I guess method alias method, that's not a thing. Module owner is module. Get to write some more module code. Alias method built-in. Never really understood why there were 2 ways to do this. Alias method. So it's going to need 2 arguments. And nat alias. I think we have this nat alias, new name, old name. Oh yay, it's in the same order. Does this one check types of stuff? Yeah, it does that. That's fine. Interesting. No, it doesn't check any types, so we need to do that. Nat assert type. Class C. Come on, I just want to copy it. I don't want to write it. There we go. There we go. So arg0 should be a, oh, but it can be a symbol, right? Can it be a string? So if I do class foo, def foo end, and I do foo.alias method, that's a thing, right? Yep. And I do foo2 foo.methods. Wait, what? What? That does. Okay. Oh, foo new methods. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so it accepts strings and symbols, and if you give it a number, then it's going to say 1 is not a symbol. So we're going to copy that. And we're going to do this thing. You know, this pattern is happening a lot. You know, don't care. Nat object new name equals args0, and old name is args1. I'll say new name is a string, we're good. If it's a symbol, then new name. Oh wait, we actually want it to be a symbol. No, we don't care. Internally, we don't care. Okay, and then the error was something like this. Inspect the object is not a symbol. We're just going to do inspect on the object. I don't love this if here with like the empty result, empty body. What's a better way to do that? Yeah, don't care right now. Just don't care. I'm going to come back and refactor those at some point. Hopefully. Old name. Okay, so all that said, I'm going to, does nat alias, what do we need to return? It's a void function, so what do we need to return? What did this return over here? When I ran it here, it returns self. Yeah, I think it returns self. So we'll just return self. So we're gonna pass the environment, we're gonna pass self, we're gonna pass the new name, but we're gonna pass the string version of it, and pass the old name string version. Yeah. And if the method doesn't exist, does this raise an error? Undefined method. Perfect. Okay, alias method. Method test. It'd be more like class test. Because we have an alias here somewhere. Oh, do we have an alias test? We don't have alias test. We have method test and it does an alias. What? Where do we do aliases? We don't use aliases anywhere in our tests. That is so scary. Okay, class alias test. Def foo describe. I'm gonna write the test for alias as well. Alias bar foo alias test.new.bar should equal foo. Ruby is happy, Natalie's happy. Okay, and then alias test, alias method, Baz foo. Now Baz should also equal to foo. Boom. Okay, let's commit that. Nope. Yep. 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 Oh, and yeah, that's it. So add module alias method. And I'm going to take a little break, and I might do a little off camera just to keep the size of this video down a little bit, but it's going to be more of the same stuff. So I will see you on the flip side. Well, guys, I've been working on this a little bit, and I just got file expand path working. I got dir working, the underscore dir thingy. Oops. Let's see, that's that. Write a test for expand path. I improved our spec runner so we can actually check with regular expressions. And let's see, we can remove test wat. That was just me playing around. So add dir and what else did I do? Oh yeah, and file dot expand path. I don't think expand path is perfect, but it's closer, and I'm gonna run the mspec stuff one more time, but I know it's gonna choke on, oh, and I added process PID too. I know it's gonna choke on some of this stuff, but let's just see. Let's just see what happens. Did I ran make, right? Okay, spec. But all that said, I think I'm going to wrap up this video and keep working on it in my spare time. I mean, of course I'm working on it in my spare time. Everything I do on Natalie is my spare time, but as I feel motivated, it's probably more accurate. Keep working on it, and may record some bits, may not. Definitely will celebrate when it's done, and I'll put that in a video. But I'd really like to use the mspec library for our specs, for our test suite. So that's my motivation. I don't know how exciting it is. I don't want to include a whole bunch of that stuff in videos just because the videos are going to be super long and boring and a lot of the same repetitive thing over and over again. But let's just see how far we got here and probably wrap up the video. Come on, go baby go. Okay, Ruby version's not a thing. Curious. Guard 51. What guard is that? Guards guard 51. What is it using that for? Oh, it's just whoa. That's kind of neat how they did that. Never thought of doing that. Yeah, let's end the video on this. Let's go ahead and implement Ruby version. What does Ruby version return? So we're just going to return a number. 271, might as well. Let's see. Is Ruby version, what is that? Assume it's like constant, yeah. So we'll just put it down here at the bottom. Net object Ruby version is string, and it's going to be 2.7.1. That's what we'll aim to support. Yeah. So constant set Ruby version, and make and then Natalie Ruby version. Oops. Cool. Well, I'll commit that, and I think that's where I'll end this video. Add Ruby version pretend we're 271 for now. I'll do a little happy face. And that's it for today. So anyway, hope that was somewhat interesting to someone. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.